Hey, everybody, and welcome to another week. Before we get started, as always, it's a big thank you from me to you, whether you're just listening, whether you are buying some of the awesome Iron Wolf hats, Machine King jackets, and other merch, or whether you're one of our heroes of Edera. And if you are, you'll get a special message on your feed right now. In the meantime, everybody else, let's hop over to the theme song. Let's roll on into TABTA. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of TABTA, the adventure behind the adventure for the Seventh Valkyrie, where we watch one guy go from total obscurity to maybe 7 seasons in a movie, and maybe just discover the power of friendship along the way. Whatever happens, you're here with us, and I'm your host, Colin Sharp, founder, creator, voice of the Seventh Valkyrie, and let's get into this edition. How's it going, everybody? I didn't talk much about Underwatch of the Wolf in the first half of the chapter because I was so excited and so in the middle of everything going on. Ellen was about to get here. I was up late. It was crazy. I may have been a little bit intoxicated. Who knows? Oh, Colin intoxicated? Recording a TABTA? That's never happened before. What? Crazy. Am I doing that right now? Did I have a beer at sunset? Did I have a couple of beers at sunset and maybe a margarita? You won't ever know unless if I tell you, which I do. I did. That was a weirdly specific hypothetical, of course. Anyway, hoping that you guys can carry over a little bit of the goofy Sunday evening energy into your Monday morning, which is when most of you guys will be getting this. My heroes, hello on Sunday evening. I'll probably post this right after I get it up, or get it finished recording. But let's talk about Underwatch of the Wolf is done. We've got Garden of Stars coming up next. I don't know if I published that yet, but boom, here's a first ever release that this Friday, Garden of Stars Part 1 is coming out. Wah, crazy, wah! I'm finally getting back into a rhythm of recording. I actually got an hour of good content sent off to the editors. Going to try and get another this week. It's a little hard because, as I explained to the heroes, Ellen and her crew are down here, and it's awesome, and I'm having a great time celebrating. But work has been a delicate dance to balance on top of that, and I have, but been managing to keep the momentum going from that big trip across Costa Rica, and managing to keep things moving forward in the right direction. I see you guys still listening. I see you guys having a blast. My heart goes out to all of you. I've been getting comments. It fills me with absolute joy to get to interact with you guys, and I hope that you appreciate it because I respond to all of them. But Underwatch of the Wolf, now this is when we're really starting to set the table for the end game of all this whole season. And that doesn't mean that we're like closing up the like that. You only got a few chapters left, but as it is, we've got the pieces falling into place, and we're kind of trying to understand, okay, we had this big attack, we had the aftermath of it, and now you're kind of seeing both sides of the river laying out what their intention is, and obviously this is all kind of made way more chaotic by the fact that the Machine King is popping up on both sides of things, playing both sides of things. We know he's got relationships with the families. We know he hates the families too, but we know he's lying, and maybe he's got people on the inside, and it's the same thing in Edera. We know he's got a partnership with Yosun, but what's going on? What's going to happen? Well, I can only say that you'll have to keep listening to find out, because you will. What? Crazy. Paying off questions that you've asked. What a novel concept. What else is going on? But yeah, so I actually ended up cutting down the Yosun speech a little bit. Maybe I'll get into it more in the director's commentary, but he kind of just went on and on and on originally, and like I actually recorded a lot of time in the booth, and it felt good, not good at all, but it felt like a good capture of the first time I did his speech. I really went just into every aspect of laying out his feelings and how he might try to incite these people to war. And on a second listen through, I was listening and I was like, okay, he's losing me here, he's losing me there. How can I keep the more compelling parts of this? And it's wild to have been literally the speech maker or the speechwriter for a tyrannical military commander, which feels very, very unfortunate at this time in our history. But yeah. Anyway, that was the weird conflicted thing. And it was funny because I was like, if I'd kept the thing that felt more like what he would say, it would have bored people and they wouldn't have been excited, which would have led to the. So it's this kind of weird, like, I control the reactions, but also I was like, this wouldn't. And like, I'm a reasonable person who, would be looking at him and going, well, that doesn't sound right. But so I was like, I had to convince little Edoran townspeople versions of me to go to war. And so that was an interesting thought experiment. I've already expanded on this a lot, but I'll get into more of that when I do the director's commentary at the end of the season and talk a little bit more about how things came out in the writing version versus the audio version. But for now, you guys are just popping in for a little episode of TABTA. Keep an eye out for Garden of Stars Part 1 at the end of the week. And boom, I will see you guys soon. Have a great start to this next cycle of 7, and I will catch you guys on the next one.